Hello everybody, Bad Weather Freak here. I have another video. I'm gonna make it as short as possible. I don't have a lot of time at the moment, and I haven't had a lot of time to make videos in the last weekend for this particular weekend, but nevertheless I don't want to forget about you guys. Of course, I want to keep you posted, updated on what happened overnight. As I mentioned, how I mentioned in previous videos, Hurricane Erin was supposed to rapid intensify. Now, at what rate is basically, we knew it was going to be rapid, but we didn't know how fast. And let's put it this way, it was extremely fast. Hurricane Erin last night around 10 for the 11 p.m. update basically was a category 1. Wake up this morning early, it is already a category 3. Literally 30 minutes and maybe an hour later, category 4. And around 11 in the morning, roughly, or a little bit past 11 actually, like 11:30 or something like that, it became a category 5. So in other words, in less than 12 hours, Hurricane Erin went from a category 1 to a category 5. So that's extremely rapid intensification. Obviously, as usual, no model predicted that. I think there was just one actually for the intensity guidance. There was only one that, when everybody else was saying anywhere from a category 1 to a category 4, only one had a category 5, or leaning towards a category 5, basically getting up there. And that's exactly what happened. So obviously that forecasting model was right. All the other ones were not as right, partially. But as you guys can see, that's a satellite imagery of Hurricane Erin, and it is a nasty looking hurricane. Hurricane. Obviously it has a very defined eye wall. But as you guys are noticing towards the end of the frames, it looks like it's getting more covered with clouds, which that's an indication that it's getting ready to start an eye wall replacement cycle. So what does that mean? Well, the eye wall replacement cycle means that the eye stops being visible. So in other words, kind of like a collapse, and to reform another one, but improved. That happens typically when hurricanes are very strong or intense. They go to, in some instances, depending how long it holds that higher or major category status, it could go through multiple eye wall replacement cycles. So when that happens temporarily, the hurricane weakens. It may come down, maybe a category, maybe 2, but it's nothing drastic. And eventually it regains strength, it rebuilds the eye, but it's more basically a better structure. And also the overall hurricane winds in general, like the area that covers, it gets wider as well. So in other words, it's good if it's right before making landfall somewhere, because actually it will weaken, but unfortunately it's gonna get bigger, so it's going to expand in size, and that is what we don't want to see right now, because it is not going to be making landfall with anything right now, and unfortunately that's just giving it enough time to continue to grow in size. But right now, you guys in the what is it? I'm so tired right now, but anyways, I apologize. Basically, the northern Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, and St. John's, you guys are probably feeling the effects right now. Not a direct impact as far as the eye wall, but you guys are getting winds and you guys are getting some rain. Unfortunately, about almost 10,000 people don't have any power at the moment in St. Thomas. So that's actually something that you guys have to be looking out for potential power outages. I mean, obviously you guys, a lot of them are without power, but as the hurricane keeps moving west, how it is now, it's going to continue to increase the power outages. Now, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the track. The track was more of a west-northwest. It gained latitude all day long. It went from 19 to 20, and now seems to be moving west again, which is an indication that the Bermuda high, it's kind of shifting potentially to the west, and it's stronger. So that's why it's still blocking the hurricane from moving more north, and in the last frames it's moving more west. That's typical. It's nothing to be concerned about in the sense of it should be momentarily, it shouldn't be permanent. Again, I don't want to alarm anybody, but the more west that it moves, the closer it gets to land. So at this point, I'm not expecting it to just dip down into Puerto Rico, but the more it moves west, the track is going to get closer and closer to the United States. Obviously, first to the Bahamas, and it all depends how much it keeps moving west. But as of right now, that's what is happening. So the eye wall is getting filled with clouds. It's going through an eye wall replacement cycle, and it should continue to intensify. I don't think. Let's see. Let me see what the. Let me go back to the National Hurricane Center. Now, as of the 5 p.m. update, it has winds of 160 miles per hour. So it may intensify a little more, but we'll see how much. But with the visual that you guys just saw, the eye wall kind of collapsing, I don't expect it to basically potentially get a whole lot stronger. Maybe 10, maybe 15 miles per hour more, but it shouldn't get probably more than that, like more than 170 miles per hour. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, the weather changes constantly, so it may surprise us as it already did. Now, for the wind speed probability, as you guys can see, that's a pretty sharp curve. But it seems like all land shouldn't be affected by the direct strongest winds, basically. Now, for whoever's listening, it has 160 mile per hour winds, moving west at 15. Now it's moving west, but all throughout the whole day, National Hurricane Center said moving west, and it didn't. It was more than just west, because obviously it didn't go from a latitude of 19 to 20 in one day moving west. I mean, that's a west-northwest move. But nevertheless, again, National Hurricane Center, they're the experts, not me. And let's see, what else can I show you guys? Let's show you the approximate arrival time zone of tropical storm force winds. Again, the closest to land will be Bermuda, basically. Depending how much it moves west, it may get closer to the United States. What else? Let me see, what else can I show you guys? Let's read the key messages. As of 5 p.m., basically they're saying heavy rainfall at times through Sunday across the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico may lead to locally considerable flash and urban flooding, along with landslides or mudslides, and that's typical in the islands because of the mountains. Tropical storm conditions are possible in the Turk and Caicos within the next 48 hours, and a tropical storm watch is now in effect for Turk and Caicos. So as of right now, the biggest issue with Erin is gonna be storm surge, rain, depending how close it gets to land. But again, we got to keep an eye on it to see what it's going to continue to do for the movement. And if it continues to move west, tonight it's supposed to start moving west-northwest and more of a northwest track. So we'll see if that starts happening tonight or not. But as always, guys, I wanted to keep you posted. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe this video. Stay safe out there. If you guys are in Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands or the Leeward Islands, the northern Leeward Islands, you guys stay safe. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.